makes you think they were gonna be able to cut your hair? No, I mean, I literally had like a white friend say that.
Yeah?
And I was like, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I feel like as Black people, we're used to being an afterthought.
Yeah.
Like as Black Americans, we're very much used to being an afterthought.
Hey everyone, welcome to the latest episode of the Black Japan podcast. It's just me and Cece today, in a more intimate, very fashionable sense down here in the den. I don't know if they can see this, but yeah, welcome to this episode of the Black Japan podcast. And today we are talking about a very important issue if you're Black and living in Japan. And that is talking about how the hell do you take care of your hair?
Well, if I go back to before I moved to Japan, my first thought when I decided I want to live overseas, well, the first time I visited Japan, I got braids. You know, typical vacation braids like, people usually do.
I could not see you in braids for as long as I've known you. It's always been like the straightened hair.
I literally had braids last year.
No, that must have been before we met.
Yeah, it was like winter time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, I just do they're jumbo twists actually. They weren't box braids because I was like, should I do jumbo box braids or jumbo twists?
Yeah.
But I did jumbo twists, I'm like, And I also did them myself.
Yeah.
And they didn't turn out too bad. I was like, ooh, I love this. I'll probably do it again maybe next month.
Oh, okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Because, usually I wait because I stretch my relaxers. I have a relaxer, by the way. I've been relaxed since 2017, but I stretch my relaxers and sometimes if it's maybe a month or so before I want to get my relaxer, I have some new growth, I'll braid it or put twists in. I didn't do it last time because it wasn't top of my mind to do that to my hair, but in the wintertime when New York is freezing, I just figured, I'm not going outside this weekend, let me just stay in. Also, let me do my hair because this air is dry, I need a protective style. But no, so when I was in Japan, the first time I went to Japan, it was just for a month, so I just got braids. I got box braids and they were, cute, down to about here or so. And I just went about, my time in Japan. A lot of people were looking at them, asking questions, did you do this yourself? How long did it take? How long did you sit in the salon and do it? And I'm like, I didn't sit in the salon. A lady came to my house and she did my hair. As is
I feel like that's such
thing.
A Black thing, right?
Yeah.
Just like you have your mom's friend,
right.
Come over and just do your hair and stuff like that.
Right. So it was just I was like, yeah, I didn't go to the salon to get it done. She just came over. And but it was a typical, normal thing for me, but for Japanese people to see box braids. And they weren't micro braids, they were kind of small. Yeah. Not box. They were kind of small, but and Japanese people were like, oh my gosh, how long did that take? And especially little kids would be or I would if I was not facing someone. I remember when I was on the train with my friends and and I was talking to my friend, facing her, and she was looking at everyone behind me, staring at my braids. I think trying to figure out how long it took, how many of them I had in my hair. And that was, I kind of expected it. They're just probably just wow, how does that even happen? But
how
then
does hair work?
Right, exactly. But then when I decided I was going to move back to Japan, I was like, you know what? I need to figure out how to take care of my hair. Take care of it properly, So when I was 17, I used to flat iron it a lot. I would just do it myself. But I really, tried to figure out how to do my own hair, and that's why I went natural at the time. So I went natural, experimented with lots of different products, became low-key a product junkie at one point. But eventually, I settled on, okay, if I wash it and I put this product in and I braid it like this before I go to bed, then I'd be able to take care of my hair. And I was like, boom, I got it. My twist outs look like this, my braid outs look like that, I know how to do this. So I was, I was team natural, and I thought it was the easiest thing to do because even if I did decide to relax, I was like, at the time I was like, I don't trust myself to do it myself. I don't know where I'll even be able to buy the relaxer if I wanted to buy a relaxer. And I also didn't want to relax my hair. I was like, better not. Let me just stick to what I know how to do, So I was just natural, taking care of it myself. I learned how to French braid my hair. I'm not good at cornrowing my own hair. It just is what it is. But I really just decided to learn how to do everything myself. Eventually, as people do, I was like, I want to try something new with my hair. And this was after I was in Japan for, probably this is like year number 5 when I was in Japan. I was like, I want to try something different. Like, what should I do? And like, when you try to get braids in Japan, if you go to a salon, it's going to cost a lot of money, like a ridiculous amount of money. Way too much for braids, in my honest opinion. But you can, if you can find a person who can do braids, because what I will say is the Black community living in Japan is not that big. So you can probably find someone who knows someone who can do braids. It's definitely a thing. And I have friends who will set up an appointment with someone who's usually another Black person living in Japan. Sometimes it's an American, sometimes it's an African person. Or if you're able to get onto the military base, find someone who can do your hair.
And to get Popeyes, apparently, like.
Yes. Yes,
So
I actually did get Popeyes from the base.
It's crazy because
it was Yokota Air Base, but I wasn't there at the time. My boyfriend and his friends went.
Yeah.
I was getting my passport renewed, so I couldn't get on base.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend's friends who went to my university, they were former Air Force, so they were able to get on base. But civilian, 1000% all the way. So they went to Yokota without me, and they got Popeyes because I was so curious about that damn sandwich.
Yeah.
Because a couple years ago, it went freaking viral.
Yeah.
So I was so curious about the sandwich. I was like, give me the sandwich. And they brought it back, and it was cold by the time I got it, which was kind of sad.
They just put it in the microwave. What, did they put it in the microwave?
No.
Why not?
I don't remember. I think we were out, because I met them out when they got back from the base. We were out somewhere. I think we were at a park. And I was like, ooh, the Popeye sandwich. So I just ate it. And I was like, the sauce is good, but I know this will be better hot. I digress. So, but eventually I found a salon in Tokyo. Well, I mean, I'd heard about it. It's called Room 806. And
Is it like Black owned or just?
yeah, the owner is this guy named Lee from Ghana. And again, they're not sponsoring us. I just would go there all the time. And it's a unisex salon. So they have barbers, so you can get a haircut.
Oh my God, okay.
As a Black guy, you can get, I'm pretty sure you can get I'm pretty sure you can get a silk press there. Because the guy, Iko, he's a Japanese dude, speaks a little bit of English, mostly Japanese though. He does relaxers. And I've even seen biracial, half Black, half Japanese kids and adults go there to get their hair done. And that's where I went when I decided to just relax my hair. I was like, try something new. So I was doing that for my last few years in Japan. I would just go there quarterly.
Quarterly?
Yes, no, because I literally, I literally get my relaxers.
Set the dates months in advance?
I only get 4 relaxers a year because I stretch them out.
Okay, yeah.
So it's in September, and then in December, and then in March, and then in June. That's.
So literally, as the seasons are changing, essentially.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
It's always the day after payday, or the Saturday after payday usually.
Yeah.
So it used to be the 20-something in Japan because I would get paid on the 25th, but now in America we get paid twice a month.
Oh yeah.
Because in Japan you get paid once a month.
Oh yeah.
I know, it's terrible.
I mean, just gotta learn how actually budget, right?
I know, and it's bullshit. But when I moved back here, I was like, oh my God, I get paid twice a month. No, but so when I moved back here, I was like, so the end of the month paycheck, most of that goes to rent, but the 15th, that was a new experience for me. When I moved back, I was like, okay, so I got a budget, and I was like, wait, another paycheck? So, but anyway, yeah, I went to that salon because, they had a proven track record of being able to do Black hair. And I actually went there and watched my friend get a relaxer touch-up. I literally sat there and was because I was still mulling over, should I get a relaxer? Should I get a texturizer? Should I just do a so depressed. Like, what should I do? I wanted something drastic and different because I was going through a drastic and different change in my life, i.e., I was graduating, and I was like, I want a major change. So I literally sat there from start to finish, the whole entire process, and because also I was bored, I didn't have shit else to do, and I just went back for my relaxer ever since that point. And again, like, that's something that I was even putting effort into researching too. When I was like, if I'm gonna move to Japan, what am I gonna do with my hair? I recognize that like a lot of products for Japanese people, well, cosmetics in general.
Yeah, that's something that I wanted to ask actually. Like, before moving to Japan, like, did you just like bulk stock like on certain products that you knew would be like hard to find?
I bulk stocked on deodorant because someone warned me about that.
Yep, Japanese deodorant is super weak because apparently biologically, Japanese people, their sweat isn't as stinky.
Half
apparently.
of them.
So Japanese deodorants suck, especially if you're a big stinky black dude like me. And like the only deodorant that I can use.
Oh my God.
What?
You need to love yourself. Why would you say
I'm just joking. It's a joke.
God.
Oh my God, it's a joke. It's
The
a joke.
self-deprecation.
No, it's a joke. Come on, it's a joke. So like literally, the only deodorant I could like use was like Axe. They would have like Axe, but it would be like in the small, like almost like portable, like travel size. So I would have to buy multiple of those, and there was always never like enough, especially like during the summer, and you know times like those when it's like super sweaty. So yeah, definitely stock up on deodorant if you're planning on being in Japan for a significant amount of time.
But also because someone warned me about the deodorant, I literally just went to Sam's Club and got a big thing, a secret.
Oh my God.
Like not even the expensive secret,
Yeah.
not like the not even the expensive gel ones. And whenever someone was like going to the States or like going on base, like, do you need anything? I'm like, deodorant.
Yep.
Deodorant. And my mom was like, do you need anything? I'm like, deodorant. And
Ship me deodorant all the way from America, please.
and BB cream, but for dark skin, like tinted moisturizer. So that's the thing, like makeup. I anticipated as much. I had, white friends shocked that a certain hair product didn't work for them, or they couldn't find their shade in makeup. And I'm sitting up here like, welcome to my world. Mm-hmm. Like that's just a thing, even in the United States, before, Fenty Beauty and, Rihanna lit a fire under everybody's ass to like expand their shade ranges. Mm-hmm. Simply put, when you have darker skin, it's harder to find your shade, even in the United States. Or we're aware that that's a hair product that has good reviews, but will it work on my hair? That's a hair salon that seems to be really popular, but can they do my hair? Like being an afterthought when it comes to how products and services are marketed and who they're targeted to is something that as a Black American, you're already used to. So it's another situation of moving to Japan being like a lateral move in terms of like, it's feeling like a lateral move in certain ways, because it's like, well, you know what? I already anticipated as much. Like I figured they wouldn't have this for me, so let me work to like do the work to bring this thing, or do the work to find a way I can work around this. Like in hindsight, I will say that like I didn't realize this until much later, because simply put, when it came to shampoo when I was younger, I would always be like, this smells good, let me use this. Mm-hmm. There are like American brands there, but it's like, Pantene, things like that. But there was a certain point when I'd be like, you know what, let me see what's in this shampoo. Let me see how this actually affects my hair.
So you got woke to shampoos, basically what you're saying. Like no parabens, no...
Oh no, I love a good paraben.
We're full to both.
Well, I mean, because the paraben-free stuff, it goes bad after a while.
Oh, really?
Like the preservatives keep it from rotting.
Oh, I didn't know shampoo can even rot. Really?
Like sometimes, well, I mean, cosmetics in general, it's like...
Yeah.
They say parabens can be dangerous, but the cosmetics without preservatives, they can go bad. They might start to stink because bacteria will grow in them. So like the whole point is to prevent things from growing in them, but they say parabens can be dangerous. But that all depends on the person and how often you're using said cosmetic.
Okay.
Because I heard this one shampoo brand, like if water gets inside the shampoo while it's in the thing, then like it starts to stink. And I've heard of that.
Well, that seems like an intentional design flaw.
But basically, when I started paying attention to, what kind of products, work best with my hair, personally, my hair is prone to dryness. I noticed that a lot of shampoos targeted to Northeast Asian people. I could be completely wrong about this, but this is the impression that I got after being there for a long time. Their whole intention is to remove as much oil and moisture as possible.
Oh, interesting.
So like, again, I can't speak for every Black person, but I feel like hair products targeted to Black people tend to try to be more gentle about try to be more gentle when it comes to cleansing the hair. Like cleanse without stripping all the oils out. And also, it could have been that I wasn't buying, the best shampoo. I could have been buying the cheaper ones. But once I got older and I started really paying attention to that, I was like, you know what? I literally just ordered Shea Moisture. I felt like the Japanese hair products were kind of, they do what they need to do for their target audience, not necessarily for me, which, I mean, it is what it is. I wasn't offended by it. I was just mildly inconvenienced by it. So I would be like, you know what, let me just go online or just go to Room 806 where you can buy hair products.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that's the thing, cosmetics as well. Like when it came to Japanese cosmetics, obviously foundation, concealer, those sort of companion products, like I can't use their concealer.
So you didn't unintentionally want to do white face is what you're saying?
Absolutely not, because I love myself. No, but I knew that the Japanese hair products were not going to be,
Skincare products.
Skincare is fine, but makeup.
Okay, yeah.
I knew,
cosmetics.
Right.
Yeah.
With the exception of like eyeliner, mascara, what's it?
So literally only
eyeshadow,
skin cosmetic
lipstick.
products, I guess?
Yeah, like things like that was fine. And just like any other product, usually it's like price and quality were directly proportional. So like, there were some Japanese makeup brands I was like, oh, this is a cute eyeshadow, or oh, this eyeliner really works for me. I also got into Korean skincare as well, which I felt like Korean skincare had a better price point for me when I was in Japan. But again, just like with Japanese makeup, I wasn't, oh, let me try this color corrector. Let me try this concealer. Like, absolutely not. It's not going to work for me. I need to go to NYX, which had brick and mortar stores in Japan. And then during the pandemic, they all shut down, to the best of my knowledge.
What's NYX?
Or NYX, NYX. I don't actually know how to say it. I literally bought their concealer right before I came here at CVS.
Yeah.
CVS. It's a makeup brand. And they even had the darker shades when I was in Japan. And I was like, oh, look at God, what you do it. But then also they have MAC in Japan as well. But, obviously MAC has dark shades, just they don't really have them in Japan, which it is what it is. And then Shu Uemura has a shade range, has a pretty wide shade range, not my color. But, I think they're taking into account like their Southeast Asian or they're South Asian, or even like the mixed kids in Japan. They take into account that audience, and they had a pretty impressive shade range for a market as homogenous as Japan. But what I definitely noticed, what I anticipated and expected was that I wouldn't be able to find my shade. Normal, it's Japan, didn't expect to be able to find my shade. But when it came to other products like, eyeshadow, I could just go to MAC and get eyeshadow because, a Japanese girl who wants to wear a smoky eye can easily use the same colors as I do if I want to wear a smoky eye. But again, being an afterthought when it comes to the target audience was something that was not at all a surprise to me. I just would recommend bringing your own deodorants because Japanese deodorant's not as strong. Like I would always be stocked up on deodorant. Like I made sure to never, because my biggest thing is I never want to stink.
Hey everyone, sorry for the shorter episode, but thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one, and we'll definitely come back with a longer discussion about taking care of black hair in Japan.